You refer to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force. You believe it's this boy?
You're creating a new myth.
I'm telling an old myth in a new way.
Do you believe you are the chosen one?
How can I know?
It's all through mythology. I have a philosophy that we all teach.
Star Wars is our great mythological tale. It's about power and choices.
But it is really the way we live our lives.
Why couldn't I save her?
It is time for you to let go.
I don't want things to change.
But you can't stop the change. Any more than you can stop the suns from setting.
You carry a great sadness in your heart.
Will I ever see you again?
Sense great fear in you, Skywalker.
It's about change and how one man couldn't accept that.
Is it possible to learn this power?
We're going to watch him make a pact with the devil.
Feel your destiny?
It's about destiny and heroes and telling an all too familiar tale for a new generation.
I had an idea of doing a modern fairy tale. Stumbled across Hero with 1,000 Faces.
Star Wars is a product of its many inspirations, but there's one that no one seems to mention.
The artist, his function.
To tell a story that speaks out the human experience.
The mythologization of the environment and the world.
Surrounds us, penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together.
You're a Jedi.
You are strong and wise, Anakin.
A hero figure.
I don't have such weaknesses. The Chosen One is a myth. Is it?
Is he not to destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force? So the prophecy says.
I feel the conflict within you. Let go of your hate.
What does your heart tell you?
I hate them! You are the Chosen One! I know there is good in you.
I feel lost.
Do it.
Trust your instincts.
You said that we would destroy the Sith, not join them!
Know what you will become.
To tell a story about the hero's journey, to rise, to fall, to learn.
But I will cause so much pain.
What you have seen must be.
We all know Star Wars is inherently mythological, but why? Why draw from ancient myths so heavily? What is George Lucas trying to tell us? Is there more to Star Wars that we're just not seeing? Is there more to Anakin's story than what fans are led to believe? Something ancient, more mythic? Well, I want to find out. There's no hiding the inspiration behind Star Wars. Dune, Flash Gordon, John Carter, The Seven Samurai, it's all there, but something we don't talk about enough is the legend behind Star Wars, the myth that gave this story its backbone, the heroes, legends, and myths that inspired the story, everything from the Arthurian to the Roman Empire. There's no hiding this influence. Obvious parallels might be the pod races akin to something of a chariot race, the Genosian Colosseum reflecting Rome's, Obi-Wan Kenobi looking like Jesus. Okay, maybe not that one. And heck, it might not even be as literal as Luke, aka Arthur, picking up Excalibur. It can be narratively too. The idea of losing a hand resembling the mark of Cain, the idea of passing down a scar. The Death Star could be the dragon, our heroes ending up in the belly of the whale, Luke baptized emerging a hero shortly after. There's so much symbolism here. Darth Maul might be the most obvious mythological example, adapted resembling Sisyphus, the man destined to push a boulder up a hill only for it to come rolling back down. Time and time again, a man lusting for power only to lose it time and time again. These are stories we've seen before, repeated time and time again in other movies, shows and books, so one would have to ask, what separates Star Wars? Why is this Cinderella in space so different from the 1,000 other tales of a hero gaining a mentor and going on an adventure with some sidekicks? It's stuff we've seen before, no? Well, to answer that, we have to go back to Lucas's true inspiration. When Lucas was just getting into filmmaking, he had two mentors, Francis Ford Coppola, who directed this little indie movie called The Godfather. Now, Francis taught Lucas everything he needed to know regarding filmmaking. However, there was another mentor, one who taught him everything regarding story, the hero's journey, good and evil, light and dark. That man was Joseph Campbell.
Just bring your same old religion into a new set of metaphors, and you've got it. I think that the Star Wars is a valid mythological perspective.
Known for the hero with 1,000 faces, Joseph Campbell aimed to find the common thread found in all our heroes. In every culture, in every part of the world, we tell tales about people undergoing a transformation and rising above their situation to become more. Gilgamesh, Beowulf, or Sir Gawain. To keep it more modern, Neo, Harry Potter, Luke, Katniss. There's a common thread here, something mythological. He made us ask, what makes a hero, and why does this hero's journey find itself in so many literary pieces today?
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Campbell popularized, as I just said, the hero's journey. Here's the way it works. A hero starts out in an ordinary world. As they embark on their journey, they go on roughly a 12-step process through a special world and back to the ordinary, generally changing the status quo, having returned and learnt something about themselves or the world. This structure is everywhere, specifically Star Wars. Now, Star Wars was made with that in mind. As I mentioned, George Lucas learned everything he knows about heroes, about myth, of Campbell himself.
My last mentor probably was Joseph Campbell, who asked a lot of the interesting questions and exposed me to a lot of things that made me very interested in a lot more of the cosmic questions and the mystery.
George then went forward using these archetypes, psychological motifs, and myth to tell one of the most poignant hero stories of the last century.
But it is really the way we live our lives.
The story of Anakin Skywalker.
In the first, Anakin Skywalker was a cherubic 9-year-old.
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
And now in episode 3, Anakin succumbs to the dark side. And to his inevitable fate, becoming Darth Vader.
The tragedy of Anakin Skywalker, the entire second half of Revenge of the Sith, is akin to something like Hamlet. It's Shakespearean, it's epic, and it doesn't flinch for a second. Its imagery is clear, the dialogue is to the point.
I have failed you, Anakin. I have failed you.
This is where George's infamous wooden dialogue comes from, but the idea is George wants to push are communicated effectively.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Characters state how they feel like actors would in a play.
If you're not with me, then you're my enemy.
There's no confusion here, no greys in which you have to figure out what the story is really trying to say, or what the characters really mean. Anakin's jealousy is comparable to Shakespeare's Othello.
You're with him! You brought him here to kill me!
No!
Much like the Iliad of Homer, we see unbridled passion lead to tragedy.
You turned her against me!
The most obvious parallel might be religious. Anakin is a child conceived without a father, much like Jesus of Nazareth. He's labeled the Chosen One.
Is he not the Chosen One?
You refer to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force.
You were the Chosen One!
You believe it's this boy?
However, the idea of the fallen angel is where Anakin sits most at home. Lucifer and his fall from grace. Lucifer was one of God's best, beautiful, divine, and strong.
And you have become a far greater Jedi than I could ever hope to be.
I am becoming more powerful than any Jedi has ever dreamed of.
This festered into arrogance.
You underestimate my power!
It's pride, and as we know, pride comes before the fall. Much like Lucifer, Anakin wages a war on heaven.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil!
For this, he was casted out and created his own kingdom in hell.
Well, then you are lost!
Now, this is a great mythological tale and all, but what is it really trying to say? What's the core message, the takeaway from the prequels? Well, I think Anakin's arc, and by extension these 3 movies, are simply summed up in this one scene alone.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
George is trying to show us a cautionary tale of power, the seduction of one of heaven's greatest angels.
And you have become a far greater Jedi than I could ever hope to be.
The devil dragging him down to hell.
Not from a Jedi.
Anakin is adverse to change. Losing his mother ensured that he never wanted to lose anyone close to him again.
I won't lose you the way I lost my mother.
It's why he chases after Ahsoka when she decided to leave the Order. It's why he went to desperate lengths to ensure his nightmares did not come true.
It was a dream, like the ones I used to have about my mother, just before she died.
Anakin is a product of passion to save the ones he loves. In his logic, with enough power, he will never have to worry about losing anyone he loves ever again. However, what we come to find is that in chasing power, it alienated everyone around him, everyone he loves, leaving him more alone than ever. To someone as passionate as Anakin, who loves and hates as hard as he does, the worst thing for him to experience would be to lose his humanity in a cruel twist of fate, ending up entombed in armor, more robot than man. George has taken the lessons he learned from Campbell. He's applied a wide range of mythological influences to Star Wars, creating a beautiful tapestry of it all. But why tell this tale in the first place? What is Lucas aiming to achieve with telling a mythological tale? Is Star Wars some kind of religion? Well, no.
I don't see Star Wars as profoundly religious. I see Star Wars as taking all of the issues that religion represents.
I've encountered divergence, Force.
And trying to distill them down into a more modern and more easily accessible construct.
You refer to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force.
That people can grab onto to accept the fact that there is a greater mystery out there.
You believe it's this boy?
Star Wars is speaking out parts of the religious experience. He's updating the myth of old for a modern generation, something digestible.
Is he not the chosen one?
Just bring your same old religion into a new set of metaphors.
So the prophecy says.
Through characters like Anakin, we can learn the cost of power. Through Vader, we can learn the virtue in redemption. Mythic stories are designed as cautionary tales to teach us how we should be, how we should act in society.
But it is really the way we live our lives.
That is the purpose of a myth. Perhaps Star Wars isn't a religion in and of itself. I think that's a bit far. However, it speaks out parts of the religious experience. Faith in a higher force and the courage to withstand temptation. George Lucas has taken mythology and infused his story with it. He's given the next generation their myth. A quote I really love goes something along the lines of this: hearing a myth makes a man take action. Taking action makes a man a hero. Through death, a hero becomes a myth. And through time, a myth becomes a legend.
He told me you killed him. No. I am your father.
No. It's not true. That's impossible.
Anakin, Darth Vader, is one of the most enduring characters in fiction. Maybe second to, say, Superman, he is instantly recognizable. Whilst a lot could be said for the iconic breathing or the stark silhouette, I believe Vader and Anakin Skywalker has endured because of the great character work.
I am what you made me.
A 6-movie mythology tale that speaks out the human experience: love, temptation, fear, hate, brotherhood, fatherhood, redemption. Star Wars is this generation's great mythology tale. It's a story about facing the dragon, facing the father, facing the part of them that lives within ourselves. Joseph Campbell once said, "The cave you fear holds the treasure you seek." All of life's answers are within us. We may have to look to a dark place, but the answers are there. What we ultimately find is that we are responsible for the choices we make in life. We define our fate by our actions. We decide who we want to be.
But it is really the way we live our lives.
To become the father, to fall to temptation as he did, or to seek the light, to inspire his redemption.
I'll not leave you here. I've got to save you.
You already have. Look. You were right. You were right about me.
Okay, so that is the video. I want to say thank you to everyone who has come this far. I hope you guys dug the video. I had a lot of fun making this one, especially the transitions. Regardless, I want to thank the Patreon subscribers for keeping the lights on, specifically Daniel, Mar, Christos, Screenspark, David, Draco, Alexis, Lance, Holland, William, Carson, Chando, Braden, Michael, Ziggy, Unlucky Dreamer, Julian, M. Rin, Shannon Adachi, Radiant, and Luis Butler. You guys are the ones and the reason that I get to do this, so I just want to say thank you so much. With that being said, I will get to that video that I said that I was going to do on my Patreon. For anyone who hasn't checked out my Patreon, feel free to, it's in the link in the description below. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao.